Hi everybody, welcome back to Trellomania. Today is day 4 and I'm really sad that we only have 2 days left. I'm Ashley Nassar and I'm your host this week where we're covering 5 Trello boards and workflows, all to get you organized and stress-free. Today we're talking about how to schedule out your content and to do it easy without even having to think about it. You ready to get started? Today, when we're talking about content, this can be in terms of your blog or your social media, and I'll use these interchangeably. Content is content. And instead of sitting down week after week, racking your brain trying to come up with these things, I'm going to give you some easy solutions on a Trello board so that you don't have to think about it. And each week, all you've got to do is just go pick some topics and get them scheduled out. So, in order to do that, you're going to want to sit down, I recommend once a month for about 30 minutes and brain dump. Go over questions from clients, questions that you've gotten on social media, ideas that have come up to you, anything like that, and just brain dump them. There's no set number that you want. Just put in as many things that you can. And you're going to add these as cards under your brain dump list. So speaking of the list, let's talk about the board really quick. On this board, we've got a few lists. Brain dump, outlined, reviewed, scheduled, results, and promoted, okay? And when we hop over to the screen share, I'll talk a little bit more about what this flow looks like and how I kind of redo that. But once you've got your items all in your brain dump, each week you're going to want to pick 2 to 3 items. And these are really meaty items, you guys. You know, these aren't memes, these aren't gifts. These are, very thought-provoking, in-depth pieces of content. And you're going to want to put these in your outlined and draft list. Now, when you move them over there, I recommend setting a date for when you want to have this completed so that you can get it reviewed and scheduled out. And I recommend, and I'll talk about this in a second, but I recommend once you've outlined it and drafted it, stepping away from it. So think about that when you're putting in your due date. So move these over, get some ideas jotted down, draft up a version, and then get your graphics ready. Basically get it into its complete first version draft where all you need to do then is review it. And when I talk about reviewing it, I recommend taking a step back, not looking at it for a couple of days, really give your mind some time to refresh itself, not be in the moment of typing it all out. And you'll have a better feeling about it than when you go back and review it. A lot of times when you review your content right then and there, you're like, oh, it's great, and I'm going to walk away. Sometimes when you come back and you've had a day or two, you think about some things you want to add in. Maybe you want to change the flow of it, whatever. Once it gets to that reviewed stage and you've marked it off there, then we want to get it ready to schedule out. So it will move over to your scheduled list. And when I say scheduling out, I mean on your website. I mean pushing this out to social media. So if you've got a blog, you want to make sure that you're pushing that out to all your people, your email list, all of those things. Get that all scheduled out at one time. Don't think about having to do this day by day because it's not easy. Batch it all together at one time and get it done. Now, once you've got it all scheduled out, it's been hanging out with your people for a bit, I recommend in a week to come back and revisit it and see how well these pieces of content did. So when you do that, and it's going to be now being in your revisit list, your ones that did the best, your highest ranking piece of content, you're going to want to promote that. Get that out to people who aren't on your list already, who aren't on your social media following, who haven't been to your website. Reach those cold audiences, because if it's working well with a warm audience, your people who know you already, who have probably bought from you already, then chances are it's going to work really well with a cold audience of people who don't know you yet. So that's a way that you're always going to be growing your business. You can't just stay in this mentality of only promoting to the same, or only, talking to the same people over and over again and never trying to reach out there. Get those pieces of content out to new people. Push it, okay? And you can do that very easily by just picking your best piece of content. So we're going to hop over to a screen share, and I'm going to walk you through what all of that looks like from the brain dump process all the way to the promotion process. Let's go. So this is our content workflow board. Like I mentioned, we have this brain dump list here. And under this, again, I've got little notes for you guys so you can kind of think about, these things that you would want to do here. And I've got, just bukus of things. And this is stuff that hasn't been done yet. So that's why it's long, but not that long. So all I have to do is each week come in here, pick out a few things, and I'm going to move them over to my outlined and draft. So let's do this, and I like to talk about different things. So when I'm picking things, I have a combination of business stuff, self-care stuff, random things. So I kind of try to generate topics around those main topics so that my content isn't always selling. It's not always one type of thing. I want to switch it up for my people. I want to give them everything that they need. So I've got these in here. Now all I've got to do, go in, set a due date for it. Boom. And I can go in, I can add a checklist of items, header tags, image alt. I can list out these things that I really want to talk about in here, things like that. And now I can go through, I can do that for each one. And from here, I can either in the description, in the comment, you can just write out the post for it, the content. You could, even if you wanted, do it from a Google Drive doc and link it in there, or any of these things from your computer if you wanted. So if you had this in a Word document, something like that, and you could attach them in there that way. Once you've done that, it's outlined, it's draft, you've got your graphic ready to go, which again, you can go in and attach through here. You're going to want to move it over to this review stage. And again, walk away from it, guys. Take a break. Don't try to get it all like done, bam, out in one day. Get it getting written one day, batch those kind of things out, but then just take a step back and come back to it in a few days. Spend, 30 minutes to an hour going through, reviewing all of the pieces of content, tweaking them slightly, doing whatever you need to do. And boom, it's done. It's reviewed, and you're going to feel confident about the pieces of work that you're putting out. Then we move it over here to our scheduled. Once it's here, you go into each of your social media accounts, your blog, your newsletter, whatever. Get that all scheduled out to your people, and you're good to go. And then you don't have to think about it. Now, if you batch this all together, you guys, this is taking, you think about it, we're 30 minutes for the brain dump. Your outlining and drafting, that's going to be obviously your most time-intensive piece, but if you're making notes on it, if you're outlining it, it's not taking you as long, and you can easily kind of get in there and just get out a social media piece. If you've got one that you've got a lot of pieces on, you could do a blog post on it, but you can tweak these to anything. So, and even if you are pushing it out on your blog, you obviously want to put this over to your social media. So there's ways that you can tie it in there as well. You don't have to constantly be creating different pieces of content for your blog and for your social media. These can be the same pieces, and you can reuse them over and over and over again, you guys. A blog can be turned into a video clip, a quote, a meme. It can be anything. You can use one piece of content for 1 week if you wanted, and have 5 different social media posts for it, and you're done. So once it's been out for a bit, like I said, come back in a week, and especially at the month, see your items that did really well. See what did the best, and you're going to want to promote those things. I've got a promotion checklist in here. Push it to Facebook. Make sure you're pinning it. Share it on Instagram. If you're using Twitter, make sure you're tweeting it out. Really promote it to people. And this promoted should also serve as a secondary list of repurposing content. So your things that do the best, those are your items that you want to revamp after. If you're doing something, let's say 2017 trends, 2018 trends, it did really well. That's a piece you want to bring back in 2019 and just update the content. So that's the board. You can sit down in one day, guys, get brain dumped, get outlined. Every week then all you have to do is just update this, do some new outlines. I mean, it's so simple, and it's going to take away the stress of sitting down week after week and trying to think about it. Now back to me. So that's it, guys. That is it for day 4 of Trellomania. That's your content for your blog, for your social media, anything like that. All done. Very simple and stress-free. Don't forget, tomorrow we'll be back talking about all things personal. So we're covering cleaning your house, shopping list, everything to keep not only your business but your personal life sane. Because if you're sitting down every day trying to work and constantly thinking about, oh my God, did I get this present? Did I send this list? Did I do that thing? You're not going to get your work done. So these go hand in hand, people. We got to fix them all. So again, tomorrow we'll be back talking about all things personal, and I'm so excited. And then we're done with Trellomania, and I'm going to be really sad. So I hope you have a wonderful Friday, and I'll see you tomorrow.